Hello, I'm Grace Olwyn Ashworth and I am a writer and a director and sometimes producer. I have been filmmaking for 20 years. From a very young age I've always had a great love of film, and I didn't realise that my love of film was any different to anybody else until I got older. I would go to school on a Monday morning and the kids would ask me what I'd been doing, and I'd tell them I'd been to the cinema on my own. And then I worked in a video shop and I was obsessed with films until one day the thought occurred to me that I could make films. So with regards to the male-female differences in the film industry, it's getting a lot better than it was. It's not just about women championing women, but it's also about men championing women, and I've worked with some fantastic men that would go out their way to network with women at film events. You frequently hear the saying, be the change you want to see, and I think it speaks volumes for the changes that we are now seeing in the industry. In terms of my advice, it would be absolutely just go for it. Everybody else will catch up. I set up Found Films production company back in 2018. It just felt like the right step at the right time. I had been thinking about it for a while, but it was when I had the necessity to need a production company of my own for funding reasons. I was finally ready for that step. I think it was something I wasn't too confident about doing for a while, but now I've done it, it feels quite empowering and I'm really happy to have my own production company. I really recommend that for anyone who is studying film at university, that whilst they're at university and they have those free periods and that little bit of free time, to get on set as much as you can. And I don't mean student films, I mean any set. The jobs that I got during university on the side were what helped me get work after university. Also, I can't recommend enough getting to film festivals. It's so important. A lot of people say that film festivals are their film school. The Q&As that I have been to at film festivals, panels, discussions, are where I've learned some really amazing nuggets of knowledge, and I really recommend getting to those as well. My latest project is my most ambitious to date. We shot a film that's about a really heavy subject. We're dealing with suicide, but we're dealing with it in a lighter way. I've worked with the media advisory team from the Samaritans and collaborated with a mental health organisation to make sure that we stay on the right side of humour. My preferred genre is comedy, but I like dark comedy or horror comedy, romantic comedy. I like the hybrid genre of things that are mixed with comedy. The reason I love directing comedy is because I like to try and shine a light on heavy subjects. As much as I value those films that people make that are heavy awareness pieces, for me it's not what I want to put out into the world. So when I started out in the industry, I got given the opportunity to be a runner on a feature film shot down in Devon. It was a really fascinating week and I learned a lot, and ever since then I spent a lot of time just trying to get on set doing anything I could. Especially as a director, I think it's really important to get stuck in and learn everything you can about every role. In terms of valuable lessons that I might have learned throughout my career, my recommendation would be that no matter what the budget, even if it's the lowest budget you've ever seen, if there's no hot tea and coffee and biscuits, you walk. The best inspiration comes to me when I actually make myself sit down and focus on what it is I'm trying to achieve. But that said, I do go and have lots of walks. I get out in the fresh air. I think clearing your head is perfect. And I think when you do feel thwarted and you're sat at your desk and you just can't, get your brain going, I think just taking a break and getting fresh air is so important, and I really value that. Growing up, I was exposed to all sorts of different films. I grew up in a single parent household and my mum was very keen to bend the rules on what we could watch. This wasn't to say we'd watch much more than a 12 with her. However, there are films that my brothers and I have watched in recent years and gone, hang on, we watched this as kids. What rating is this? Anyway, it was only, when I talked to other adults that I realised that their parents didn't show them all these films necessarily. But yeah, my mum was a big fan of cinema and she absolutely loved movie watching. In terms of the next steps for me in my career, I have got to the point where I feel like I've built up a good portfolio of work. In terms of directing, I am ready to get directing some film and television, so I'm making plans for this year. Lots of exciting projects in the future.